The show is about to start. Places. The show is about to start. You have to show a look, have a look, or give a look. Faces. Beautiful. No one ugly allowed. Are you ready? Here we go. Fashion is the art. Designers are the gods. Models play the part of angels in the dark. Which one of you would ever dare to go against? That beauty is a trade and everyone is paid. Fashionista. How do you look? Fashionista. How do you look? New York, London, Paris, Milan, Tokyo. I think it's in Japan. Asia, Malaysia, Las Vegas to play. LA, if you pay my way. Fashionista.
Well, hello out there. It is your girl, Morgan, and I'm so excited for this evening. I have a fabulous guest for you tonight. But just a reminder, I'm your anchor of excellence, but the girl's so nice, they named her thrice. Now, please, if you're just joining us for the first time and you know what I'm going to say, please hit that share button, because the more people we bring in, the more people we have fall in love with the American system, just like your girl, Morgan does. But I just want to jump right into it. I'm so excited. Her step down is coming very, very soon. And I can't wait to chat with her. And if you have any questions, please make sure you put it in the comments, because we can definitely chat. She told me she was an open book. So here we go. We're going to find out. So without further ado, your girl Morgan's going to bring on your Miss Gay Vogue America Femme 2025. Our girl, my girl, Miss Asia Monroe. Hello, beautiful.
Hey,
How you doing, girl? How are you?
I'm feeling lovely and femme today.
I love that. And you know what? Can we just jump in real quick for the viewers at home? Because you said something absolutely fabulous that I did ask at Nationals, but I would just love to hear your interpretation of it, because you said, I'm feeling very femme. What does that mean for the viewers at home?
It honestly it's really just taking ownership and power of just being a woman. You know, I always like to say in the outside life, this is just me personally, you know, everyone's journey is different. I always like to say I'm a woman first, trans second, you know, in the sense of like, I am a woman, you know, and it's really just being a true feminist, honestly, and just living my life proudly and just accepting my femininity.
As you do. As you do, my sister. I love and adore you.
Love you too.
Those at home, I know Asia very well for many, many years, and we've done lots of thingies together. But we're going to get down to all the details that make Asia Monroe tick tonight. So, and once again, there is tons and tons of people watching you right now, my darling. It must be because you're feeling very femme tonight. Why don't you introduce yourself to the viewers at home, and why don't you tell everybody where you were born, like where you grew up at?
Hey everybody. For those of you who do not know, I was contestant number 16 in the Miss Gay America Femme pageant. My name is Asia Lee Monroe. I reside here in the city of Philadelphia. I was adopted from Vietnam when I was a small baby, and I came here, so I'm a proud immigrant. And I came here and I've been raised in Philadelphia, Northeast Philadelphia to be exact, all my life. I've been all over the tri-state area. I've been doing drag for next year, it'll be 10 years, so I'm happy to say that. And yeah, I'm an entertainer. I am a sister, mother, daughter, all that.
I love that, which we're gonna, of course, get into all the details of
Sure.
that. But I first of all, I love how I was like, can you just say hi to everybody and tell them where you're from? And you just gave me a whole pageant answer because I'll tell you, Miss Asia, you are a pageant queen, tried and true. You really are. Do you know how many caps do you have right now?
I have 13 at the moment.
Oh my God, I thought you were gonna say 30. And I would believe, but I would
will have
believe
30 one day, but 13
I
at the moment.
will. Yes, I believe it. So, so since you were adopted at such a young age in Vietnam, it's you grew up just being already integrated in the United States. It's not like there was any transition of culture or anything for you.
No, say trans again.
Pun
No,
intended. No.
not really. And I was so blessed and fortunate that my parents incorporated my culture into my life. So they never hid the fact that I was Vietnamese. They never, tried to make me more American in the sense my culture was very in tune with who I, was raised to be. And yeah, so um, they always kept it alive and I always make sure to honor my country and, all that.
Do you have siblings?
Um, so within the sense of the group that I was adopted in, we call each other god brother and god sister. So I still keep in touch with them. We've seen each other throughout the years. I just saw them probably about almost 2 years ago, the last time I saw them. But I mean, biologically, to be honest, I have no idea. But I'm very fortunate enough. I have a
Hmm.
best friend who we grew up together, so my parents considered her like a second daughter. So I have siblings and all that
So
jazz.
when you say I'm just going to quickly go back to when you say when you were adopted with a group, was it with your same parents that your adopted parents, or
Yeah.
like you can? Okay.
So it was through an organization and it was different families who wanted to adopt children. And a little fun fact, a little story, I was actually supposed to go to a family that was in a trailer park. But the day of when you leave to go to Vietnam to adopt your child, they did not know you had to cross an ocean to get to Vietnam, and the mother had a fear of going on planes and all that
Hmm.
jazz. So my parents got the call, and within 48 hours, they were on a plane to Vietnam to bring me home.
Okay. Well, and you know what? Things always happen for a reason. I'm a true believer of that. So, so what were you like as a fabulous young child? Like, were you into sports? Were you?
I definitely was a energetic kid. Um, I I I was a mover. I was very creative. My mother was a graphic artist, and she always instilled the arts in me. And I did try like karate for a little bit. I made it to a brown belt, not to toot my own horn. Um, I was the prodigal Asian child. I tried violin. It just was not. It just was not it. Um, and then I discovered my love of dance. So I always was that kid at weddings and birthdays and block parties. I always loved to dance. So I was always
Hmm.
dancing around. I love music. So I was definitely that flamboyant child
Love it. Well,
dancing away.
hello. And so, because you do dance like when you perform. So
Mhm.
is that something you kind of just taught yourself as you were going through, you know,
So
entertainment and getting into
um,
the entertainment world?
I used to go to summer camp when I was a child, and that's when I discovered like really like a dance studio and all that stuff. And then from there, I did dance when I was like a little child at like my
Mm.
neighborhood dance studio. But like when you're like tiny, you're not really thinking about it. But I fell back into love with it, and then When I was about in middle school, I was accepted to the Rock School for Dance Education here in Philadelphia. So I am a trained professional dancer. I did pre-professional ballet for about 7 years. I've also danced with Koresh Dance Company. I've danced with Pennsylvania Ballet. I was accepted to Los Angeles City Ballet, and so on and so forth.
So we're going to kind of mesh a little bit like with your performing and your growing up years, but so do you find that you put a little bit of your inspiration in your numbers with your dance background, because you said a lot of ballet? Do you
Yeah.
find yourself
A little bit. I mean, I've definitely pulled out some point shoes for different pageant categories in a wow factor. Um,
uh,
I would say yes. I hear a lot of queens say like, "Oh, I'm a dancing queen," or whatever. And I always say a true dancing queen, if you're given about like maybe like two or three 8 counts of music and you're just standing there, you got to be able to,
mhm.
being a trained dancer, I can tap into my technical roots and pull out some of my moves, and that's what helps me during my performance. It also definitely helps me to, I guess we could say, freestyle when I'm performing. A lot of people ask me like, do I choreograph my numbers? And I would say yes, for pageants I do, but mainly like with you know regular
Sure,
shows. Like
you're right.
once the music starts,
She's off.
I just go.
What's one of your favorite dance moves that you do, that the wow factor?
Well, I I used to do a lovely running split. If you were at the America Femme pageant, you saw me scooter my way across from one side to the stage to the other. Um, Mama can't do that right now, but and I love to say that I am a true plus size diva. So they don't always expect the big girl to come out dancing like that. So I would say
Um,
that would be one of my wow moves.
no, it's a good one. It was a good one. And what's interesting is I was able to see you do the slide from one end of the stage to the other, which when you watch the Femme pageant, you know how long that stage is.
Yeah.
And I thought it was just you just went through it. You did it. You didn't like. Well, I know it hurt, but
So for two things for those of you that were not there. Um, so one of my biggest idols, Miss Kennedy Davenport, was actually there prelim night at America Femme, and I didn't know it, but she was sitting right there in the front row, and I was just like, Asia, you gotta twirl, you gotta really do it. So, um, which led to me actually when I did that split, I actually tore my hamstring really bad. So, but I mean, it paid off because I made top 10.
you did. And that was your first year going to the. I mean, this is obviously the second year, but as far as like that
Mhm.
American national
Yes.
stage
It was my first year at a national stage, and yeah, I was the
in
first
general.
in general, yes.
Okay.
And I was the first Asian trans woman to ever compete for the division.
That's fabulous. And you definitely represented very well. You represented Vogue America as well as MGA. So hats off to you. And obviously, I know everyone adores you and they can't wait to see you come back. I'm hoping. But so what do you do? I'm going to keep you. I think you can handle it. I'm going to keep bopping around. But what do you do for fun? Like Asia fun, like not performing, not like what do you do for fun?
Oh, well, I love to shop. I do love to shop. Honestly, if I'm not performing or, anything drag related, I really love just spending time with my family.
Mm.
Um, I know we have like subcategories like chosen family and stuff like that. I just consider everyone my family.
Mm.
So I really just spend time with my family. I love to travel. I'm a foodie, so I love a good restaurant, a good meal. I do also love to cook. Cooking is one of my love languages. I really, it's funny because I do. People do tend to say like I am like this like glamorous like showgirl, but like off stage I'm very like chill, like
Mhm.
just a regular girl.
So, and also, I know you do it for like to make money as well, but you do units, correct? Do you do
Yes.
that for like fun as well as like creatively to like just kind of because you have to sit there and craft
Yeah.
the
So
wig
I
for the
actually
hair?
I made this hair. I made this hair. Yeah,
That's
I do make human hair units, and I make them for my kids. I make them for other entertainers. I have non drag clients and stuff like that. And I mean, yeah, I love, especially back when there was nothing to do when we were in lockdown, hair was like my big thing. But I really do I do love makeup as well. I'm a big beauty girl. I love makeup. I love hair. So when I really do have the time, of course, I like to sit down and style a wig or, play with makeup.
Sure. And I really love a good Jessica Red long unit, by the way.
You were fortunate enough to what did you like win it or something? It was like
it was a raffle and I won it, weirdly enough. I don't even know. I think it was for something we were raising money for my end, I think. But it doesn't matter. Regardless, I still have her and I love her. She's great. So shameless plug, but not shameless. Why don't you tell people that are watching where they can, if they want to order one from you?
If you would love to reach out to me for a human hair unit, you can DM me on Instagram. And the best price of all, it is only $150 plus the cost of the hair. So if you provide the hair, it's only $150 for me to make you a wig.
It's really not bad. And it's human too. So
all human. This is 100%
everything.
Human virgin hair. This is actually almost a year and a half old, and it's still lace wear.
There's a lot of great things about you, but your hair is always on point, girl.
Thank you.
So what got you into? So I know you love the performing. I know you love the makeup. I know you love being fabulous and feeling femme on stage, or just even not on stage as well. But what got you into doing? Let's start with what got you into doing performing. And may I ask just a little side thing, just for the people at home as well, for whatever, do you consider yourself a drag queen and a drag performer then?
That is the golden question. I would say, I mean, it kind of depends on like what audience. Like I personally don't care like what people refer to me as. I know some other girls are very touchy about what the label is. If I'm talking to someone who isn't too familiar with like queer life, where I just say drag entertainer or drag queen, I have no issue. I mean, sometimes when I like, if I'm a lot like, if I'm painted softer or whatever the case may be, sometimes like, oh, you're a showgirl or something like that. So it really depends on who I'm talking to. I really have no preference. I mean, if I'm sitting there in like fully rhinestone gown, hair to the sky, jewels, everything, it's drag. So
yeah. And I appreciate you answering that because it's not that it's your job to educate anybody, but it's important to just get the word out so people who want to learn and whatnot.
I definitely feel like a lot of the disconnection, it just comes with like a simple conversation. And I just feel like people just need to remember that sometimes that people may not ask it the PC way, but they're generally just curious. So, I'm always happy to tell them.
So what got you into performing? We'll just say as an entertainer, a showgirl.
A drag, so I started doing drag when I was 17. Right. And I remember like I would just go out a little bit and just try it out. And a girlfriend of mine was like, oh my God, like, you should come do like this lip sync battle at this club and you would be really good at it. And I was like, well, like, I'm not 21 yet. So, and she's like, it's okay, girl. Just like, come on in. So I did the lip sync battle and it was Mimi on First's lip sync battle show. And it was a mix of like new girls and old, like, seasoned girls. And I made it to like the second round. And it honestly was just one of those things where like everything in my life just like clicked, if that makes sense. Like I still remember to this day getting on that stage performing, and it was just like seeing everyone's reaction, but like it was just like I was like locked in. And I remember driving home that night and it was just like I need more of this. I need to keep doing this. And yeah.
Well, and obviously like you are a natural entertainer. So obviously it showed on stage.
It's you know, and that's where, like, I always say the arts really do help. You know, there are other queens that have come from the dance world, the theater, band and music and all that. So all of those things in life you may not think intertwines with drag. It really does.
So then what got you into pageantry then, in
So,
general?
um, one of my biggest things I used to do, I used to like any queen I would see or watch. For example, one of one of my idols, Miss Kennedy Davenport. I would literally like watch like all the videos and like the Miss Continental videos, the older Miss Gay US of A videos, and all that stuff. And I would just literally would watch it and like, oh my God, these women are so beautiful. And here in Philly, when we used to do Pride, they used to have like all the all the Philly legends on stage, and they used to have the Miss Philly Gay Pride. They used to have Miss Northeast Royale on stage, and Mama Les was on stage in their crowns, and it was just like one of those things where it was just I think it was just the most beautiful thing I've ever seen,
Mhm.
and especially with like the pageantry systems, and especially the trans girls doing pageants, it's so much of queer history comes from that. And so it just being a part of it and just continuing that legacy that they built is just one of the best things, and really just pushes me more in the pageant world.
Sure. So and then so I know of you doing like other different types of pageantry. So then what got you into America then?
So that was the the funniest thing, because I have a lot of sisters that have done the America system, and I've watched them compete and do amazing. And it was something that I obviously like never saw myself doing, just because of like I know what they looked for in the Miss Division and stuff like that. But when I heard of the Femme Division, it was kind of one of those things where it was like, this is something fresh, this is something new, this is something that is, again, you know, it's starting history, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
And I really I really wasn't too sure about it last year, and I just like I had an epiphany, and it was just, truth be told, it was just like I've been blessed and fortunate to be successful in pageants in the area, and it was just like it was just something about like it's my time to hit a national stage and let the world know who I am and represent for girls like me. And that was like my biggest mission, is just like showing that no matter where you come from, no matter what circumstance, you have a place and you have
Mhm.
a spotlight on you to showcase your art. And
Sure.
I was really fortunate to be part of an amazing group of girls. They were so amazing, and it really was a good time.
I love that. And so when you started preparing,
Mhm.
did you was there any inspirations going into the package that you're creating?
So when I did my prelim, when I did Vogue, you can also come to our my step down on August 8th and our pre-show on August 7th at Crimson Moon. Um, I was really blessed and fortunate enough that they really liked my package from my prelim. And, you know, my biggest critique was just make everything bigger and better for a national stage.
Mhm.
And, you know, one of my things that it could be a blessing and a curse is that I'm very independent. I'm very like a, if I don't know how to do it, I'm gonna try to learn how to do it. Or if I want something to look a certain way, I'm gonna make it look a certain way. And I really applaud also my promoters, because they were also like, we're gonna let you do what you need to do, but just know that we are here to also be the tools to help you. And they were also phenomenal as well. So, and you know, one of my biggest things getting ready for this pageant was to not be what they for me to be who I am through and through, and not what people expect me to be, or what, you know, what the pageant, what I think the pageant may want me to be. Is just, I'm going to show up, do me, and
Look what happened though.
right. Hmm.
Well, I love that. So, do you find that when you started to figure out your gown look, do you
Hmm.
think it was? Do you think your style was maybe different from like where Miss Gay America is, and
Um,
then why?
a little bit. I definitely feel like Within the pageantry systems, I definitely feel like America definitely has like a certain classic look to them. And I definitely feel like for both of my gowns, they were. Now, me personally, I'm a girl that when I wear an evening gown, I like to look like a chandelier. I love it to be beaded and I love to be stoned, whatever the case may be. And I definitely showed off two different style of gowns each night. Um, and I definitely feel like it did fit the criteria, but it also still kept in of who I am.
Sure. Do you have a favorite gown color in general? Because I know you wore a couple. I know you in the past have worn a few gowns.
Um, that is hard. Well, one of my one of my favorite gowns that I currently own right now is my purple fringe gown. If you were there at the pageant I wore for my prelim night. Um, and then if I had to pick, I love a black gown, but when it's done right, if that makes sense,
Sure.
because there's so many different, like, black is one of those things where you can do it in so many different versions, but sometimes, like, what I love about it is like you could wear like if it depending on the material, it could be like a simple black gown, and it could be like the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. So I have yet to get a black gown; it's in the works, but.
I live. So let's talk a little bit about. I guess you say family, right? So let's talk about your family.
Yeah.
Whether it be chosen. Well, we know about your adopted family and how wonderful your parents are. So let's talk a little bit about your chosen family.
Yeah.
You
So
have you have a mother,
yeah,
correct?
I have two. I have two, well, in life I have three mothers. My two mothers. My drag mother is Alexiana Lee. She's a Denver queen. She lived here a little bit in Philadelphia when I was starting, and what I'm so blessed about is that she did move away. She did move back to Denver, but she also gave me such a great foundation in which that she gave me the tools that I needed for me to thrive and do drag without her needing to be there, if that makes sense. And I really applaud her for that. And then my gay mother is Tina Montgomery. She's a legend icon here in the Philadelphia scene, and to be honest, all over. Every time I go out with her, you'd be surprised how many people know her. But she is my gay mother. She was one of the first people to really sit there, look me in the eye, and tell me like, "You're gonna be a beautiful woman one day." And like at that time, she told me, I was like, I don't think it's for me. I don't, I really don't. And she's like, I really see it for you. So, and then I have my children, my daughter, Miss Nikita Sin Monroe. I have my daughter, Miss Diva Divine Monroe, and our baby boy of the family, I have my son, Ricky Suave Monroe.
Yes. And they all do pageantry as well, correct?
Yes, they do. My daughter Diva is a former Miss New Hope. My daughter Nikita is your former Miss Mundo Latina Plus USA, and my son is the reigning Mr. Imperio Latino.
Fabulous. Well, and they have a good legacy to follow too, so and good advice as well. So do you do like, because I always see like you definitely hang out with your chosen family a lot. Is that something like right on a regular or
Yeah,
do you,
I'm blessed to where we all live really close to each other. And I always say my biggest thing is, to anyone who's ever come into my life, if I once you really get to know me and I really get to know you, my house is an open door to you. If you need shelter, if you need a meal, if you need to talk, if you need help, I'm always here. And sometimes I could just be at home and one of them will be like, "Hey, I got to go to Target. Do you want to come or do you need anything?" Or, "Hey, I feel like grabbing some food. Do you want to come with me?" Or, "Hey, I just feel like, hanging out, raiding my closet." And, um, can I come over? And yeah, so we always come over and with also my drag sister, Miss Volky Lee Versace and her kids. We're the Lee dynasty. Alexiana is me and Volky's mother. One of the best advice that both my mothers gave to me was, I'm not just your mother on stage, I'm your mother off stage. And, you know, I've been blessed to where I've had certain life situations where my kids have showed up for me, and I've showed up for them. And if I'm not able to be there, my sister Volky is just, she's the same way, you know, she steps right in. So we're very big family oriented, and even the most picture perfect families, we're not always going to get along. Some of us, you know, some days we love each other, some days we want to pull each other's hair out. It's about being a family. But the one thing that I will say is that we all have each other's backs no matter what.
100%. You gave me, I got chills. But I get, the viewers at home are hearing it, but I get to see it firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really cool to see because, you know, with our community, you know, there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of outside factors that are trying to tear our community down. When I say community, I say the LGBTQIA plus community. And, you know, it's nice and refreshing to know that a group of people can come together, not only just to be together just for each other, but actually build a strong bond that is a family. And it truly is, because everything you're saying is what a family structure should be like.
Yeah, and you know, I definitely feel like, especially when, that's why I always say, especially with not even just with chosen families, just within the community in general, we have so much going on outside trying to get us, that we need to be more communicative, more understanding with one another, and just opening up that dialogue in the sense of just getting to know people. And like, you know, with, especially with, you know, our chosen family, you know, again, it's just like, one of the greatest things that I've ever gotten out of drag was my chosen family, because it was something so unexpected that came at me. But I'm so blessed, and you know, I'm so honored to have it.
All right, fine. Stop asking me. I'll just be a part of it too. I'm just kidding. My mother, Michelle Lee Sterling, will have my head. But anyway, but no, I love it. So what else do you got going on in Philly? Like, what kind of shows you doing? Are you doing some brunchy giggies? Are you doing the things?
A little something, something. Mama's always trying to twirl.
Yeah.
So you can always catch me every second Thursday at Bob and Barbara's. You can also catch me every second Friday for the Dollhouse Takeover at 254. You can also catch me every third Friday at 254 for the Lotus Lounge, which is my personal show. I also host karaoke at Marsha's every Tuesday from 7 to 11 p.m. Occasionally, I'll fill in for karaoke for my sister Volky at Bar X. And you can also catch me at Crimson Moon every first Saturday for the Royalty Review. Sometimes I'm most of the time I'm there. You can also catch me, especially like I said, on August 7th. I'll be at Crimson Moon for our Vogue Femme kickoff party. We'll have the fabulous Miss Anya Marino there, and amazing plethora of other entertainers there as well. And then Saturday the 8th, you can catch me at my step down.
Looking fabulous and fierce. Is there is Vogue still accepting applications for those that are watching right now, maybe inspired to?
Yes. So if you would love to join the Vogue family, you can hit myself up or my lovely promoters. You can also message the Vogue Femme Facebook page.
I love. What else haven't we talked about? I'm trying to, because I know you.
Any trans things you want to talk about?
Me? Oh, we can talk about
Do you have something you want to tell us more?
Not yet. I gotta become Mr. Gay Esquire or Gay American Esquire. You got me thrown off.
The day you're crowned is the day you come out.
Boom. And they're gonna be like, "What is going on?" I'll be like,
right.
"Just keep up, booze." I just blushed a little bit too. So I'm screaming. Well, let's talk about it for a little bit then. If you know, I think that's lovely. So when you came out as gay, correct? If I don't use the terminology correctly, please correct me. But so when you came out, you weren't transitioning yet, correct? And when I say transitioning, becoming who you are and who you were born to be. And I know, pageant answer, right? Girl. Go ahead, you just talk.
When I was younger, I came out in the sense when I was in 7th grade. I think I was in 7th grade. And I remember it like it. I remember it like the back of my hand. My parents were sitting downstairs watching TV. I was on the phone with one of my friends. I was like, I'm gonna tell them. Like, I'm gonna tell them. I'm gonna go downstairs and tell them. And so I went downstairs and I was like, hey, I need to tell y'all something. And they're like, okay, like what is it? And I sit down in like the middle of the floor and I just say to them like, yeah, I just I'm gay. Like I like guys. And
Mhm.
like of course I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I just said that. And then like both of them just look at me and they're like, we know. And of course, like, like, what do you mean you know? And they're like, well, your favorite movie is The Wizard of Oz. So like, all that
Yes,
jazz.
I'm
Um,
screaming.
so yeah, and then as life went on, I was always very feminine, and I'm gonna talk in a sense of like, in with like transition stuff like that. Looking back at it, and this is why it's very important to do a lot of self therapy and self healing and self reflection, is that I started asking myself a lot of questions. And one of the things I realized was I was never one of those girls that said, oh, I want to be a girl when I was younger. I was never like, oh, I want to be a girl. I want to be a princess. No, I was just always like, oh, if we're playing house, I'm the mom. If
Mhm.
I'm looking for toys, I want a Barbie or I want a doll or I want to dress up. It was never like, oh, I want to be a girl. So when I was asking myself a lot of these questions, as I got older, it was just like, and doing drag and stuff like that, it was just like a lot of things were starting to like, well, certain things were starting to make me like, oh, I don't like that, or like, whatever the case may be. And so then I really had a long, long, long talk with myself, and I know that probably sounds a little crazy, that everything just pointed in the sense of like, you are not male identifying. I could never see myself leaving this world as an old man. I always saw myself as an old lady. And
Yes.
so then from there, of course the same reaction. I told my best friend, I was like, I'm gonna medically transition. They're like, girl, it's about time. Like,
Right.
and
Thanks for telling me.
and then when I came out to my parents, I said in a sense, like, this is something a little different and, I need to tell y'all. So before y'all start asking questions. And I basically just said to them, like, I am going to start medically transitioning. And I'll talk a bit about why I said that specifically, but also I said to them, this is a journey that you're going to have a lot of questions, and I don't want us to lose that connection. And I want you to be able to ask me anything, whether you think it may be the craziest thing to ask me. I want you to know that I'm comfortable answering your question. And if I don't have an answer for it, we're on this journey together that we can find that answer. We can look for those answers together. And, I was very blessed and fortunate, and from that day on, it was just, onward and upward. So yeah. Hmm.
You know what? It's the irony of it all is that you said that when you're playing house, you want to be a mother because you are a mother. Like you are the mother of many children. Number one. Number two, it's refreshing to hear how you decided to address it to your parents, but also it's a beautiful thing because that's what your parents instilled in you to how to handle that. And I just think that's
Yeah.
beautiful because I know that there's so many children out there that don't get that. And
Mhm.
that's why I do my charity work. That's why I raise money for children at risk because there's so many children out there, trans children out there that are not getting that support. So, for number one, hats off to your parents, hands down.
Love them. I definitely think that touching on that subject a little bit, I am very much in the sense of blessed that my parents allowed me to be who I was, even if they thought I was a certain way, or obviously like I was gonna go a certain route, they still let me figure it out for myself. And I think that's a big thing that a lot of parents of queer children still have to kind of remember, that we are so fortunate to have so many conversations and different terms and all that jazz. But at the same time, your child is still your child. They are unique. They are, they're them. And you have to let them explore and, and especially to a lot of the queer youth, if they're watching this, take that time out to figure out who you are as a person. And, sometimes that journey, you can't put a label on it. Or sometimes you, it takes some time to figure it out, but you'll get there. And then someone like myself, I knew exactly when I was going to transition what woman I was going to be and how I wanted to present myself to the world. So I really just say it's one of those big things where it's like a lovely recipe. You just gotta marinate it and let it cook low and slow.
And then just enjoy that ride, honey.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back to you were saying something specific about medical
Mm-hmm.
transitioning. Can you get into that a little bit?
So, something that I always instill in the sense of when I'm talking to, I'll say I'll say both, like the trans men and the trans girls, women. Um, it's this is all on the outside. How you truly feel, it's in here, and it's like just like all the vanity stuff. Of course, it's the cherry on top of the icing, but without a strong foundation, you know, before I blossomed into womanhood, I dressed how I wanted to dress. I, presented the way I wanted to. And, it it is a little rough in the sense when you're first transitioning because you're not there exactly how you want to be. But it comes in time and you just have to let things cook and take your time. And I say medically because I was already so feminine that, like, even on the daily basis that people be like, oh miss, or and I'd be like, well, and um but I knew what I wanted to change in a sense. And I didn't want my parents one day me come downstairs just all va va voomed out and like, where'd this come from? So that's why I say medically transition.
Yeah.
And I really say, especially to my women, my girls, ask your questions, talk to your sisters, your mothers, and your aunties. Do things the right way, go to the right people, and just don't be in such a rush.
I do have to ask, maybe just so in Philadelphia, but is there places for people for trans children to go to?
So we have the William Way Center. We also have Planned Parenthood. There's also Philly Fights. They do a trans group every Tuesday at 1 p.m. and it's you can go there and talk to the certain people there. Um, but again, and I always say this, you can also reach out to me. Like I said, I am a open book. I have no problem helping, leading the girls or the guys or whoever to
Mhm.
get the journey started.
I love it. I love it, and I love you so much, so so much. So, what's in store for Asia Monroe now that we're going to be stepping down?
Well, I'm going to one, get my knee together. So I'm recovering from an injury. So get that together. Honestly, I do have some pageants lined up. I have my eyes on some pretty hats. But I will definitely say that, you will see me again at America Femme. I can't say it'll be next year. I can't say it'll be 2 years from now, but I can one day say that I will be Miss Gay America Femme one day. And I would be honored to be Miss Gay America Femme. And yeah.
I love that. Well, is there anything else that we haven't covered that you'd like to share with the audience and the viewers out there?
Um, as cliche as it sounds, just keep supporting queer art, keep supporting your local drag shows, and also love your queer brothers and sisters. There's a lot of ugliness and foolishness going on in the world, and they are trying to erase not only queer history but the real history of America. So it's just important to stay aware of your surroundings, but also use your voice. We are blessed, especially to those who are national title holders. You are you have a really big platform in the queer community and in the drag world, in the pageantry world. So just make sure that you're using your voice. And yeah.
So I must ask, I hear a little fur baby
That's
there.
my baby. I know he wants to go out. Come here.
Don't we adore the babies. What's your baby's name?
His name is Binks. He's a black cat. Come here. Come to mommy.
Love. Like a full on black cat.
He is a full-on black cat.
So
Say
very good luck. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah. Always give the kitties the love.
all my human children always like to joke on who's the favorite child, but I think we all know who's mommy's favorite child.
That's right. That is right. Oh, and see, look, love. That's all that they wanted was love.
Yes.
So in true Morgan, first of all, thank you again for taking time out of your day to,
Sure.
just give a little bit more information about you and just helping other people hear your voice and sharing your story. But in true Morgan fashion, I always ask my guests what their meaning of excellence is, because excellence is something different for everybody. And I would just love to hear your meaning of excellence.
My meaning of excellence is just being the best version of yourself and being the most authentic version of yourself. I feel like sometimes with not only with drag but just in life where we try to fit into the expectations, whether it's society or whatever the case may be. Just be yourself and live your life. Be a good person, honestly. And I feel like that's what being a symbol of excellence is. And again, just being loud and proud.
I love you. So can you do me a favor? Because I'm not going to just say goodbye to you and then say goodbye to everybody else. Can you say goodbye to everybody with me?
Goodbye, everyone. It's not a goodbye. It is a see you later.
See you later.
Please, please, please keep supporting my sister Morgan and her podcast. Also, keep supporting the America system as well as the Femme division. And also come out August 8th for our Vogue America pageant. Should I plug my social?
Yeah, of course. Put it whatever you want, babe.
I feel like it's a callback at the end of the show. You can. You can check out my Instagram. It's at the Asia Monroe. I always like to say, don't follow me, believe in me. And you can also catch me and Morgan sometime at Crimson Moon when Morgan is not being a amazing nurse and saving people.
I know. I miss my girls so much, my sisters. So I'll be there.
But
all right.
Have a good night.
We love you. Thank you, my love. And I'll see you very soon. All right, everybody. Thank you. I adore you.